Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Josh.
And I'm Erin.
And we just did a blind head-to-head between Willett Year Rye and Pikesville Rye. Similar proof points, wildly different availabilities. Which one do we prefer?
Stay tuned to find out. Welcome to the channel, bringing a real-world perspective to the real-world whiskey consumer.
As always, our head-to-heads are completely double-blind. We don't know what we're drinking, but you do. You can also see what we're drinking in the description below. All of these are very interesting matchups that we've entered into our blind sample pool. This is a portion of that blind sample pool. We're going to run a randomizer to see which one of these 18 pairs on the table that we're drinking tonight.
Okay.
So let's find out.
7.
Number 7. So there's 9. So this will be the
That
7th
one.
pair.
All right.
We're going to clean these up, get these poured. We're going to be back with our first impressions on glass 1.
Let's do it. It smells like it's going to be sweet.
Yeah, it definitely smells sweet. I'm getting some straight up candy sweetness on this.
I'm getting a lot of sweetness and a lot of ethanol.
Yeah.
Or is it ethanol?
Ethanol, alcohol. It's really bright and it's really sweet smelling.
Can I take a sip?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay. Oh. Oh, this tastes like tea.
It does have a tea flavor to it.
It tastes less sweet than I expected. Like, from the smell, I thought
Yeah.
it was going to be kind of like sugary sweet.
Yeah, I was thinking like a candy sugary sweetness as well.
There is some after sweetness.
Yeah, no, this is pretty good.
It's
Like,
light.
I need another sip to figure out
Yeah.
exactly what's going on in here. It kind of surprised me.
This is like something I would want to drink on a porch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like during the daytime though.
What's the temp outside? Is it fall? Is it summer?
Hold on. Springtime.
Okay.
It's a springtime sipper.
Yeah, it's fresh
springtime
and clean.
porch sipper.
I can get kind of a grassy note if I think about this
If
while
you think
I'm
about
smelling
it,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of grass and mint on the nose in a really pleasant way.
Yeah. It's making my nose run, although I can't tell if that's our air conditioning. It might be our air conditioning.
Oh,
It builds.
that second sip hit me weird. This has definitely got like a grassy, minty kind of flavor
I
to
dig
it.
that so much.
Yeah, this is more in your wheelhouse. I think based on the nose, I was expecting one thing up front.
Yeah.
And then it hit me different on the palate at first and kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
Going back in for a second sip. Flavors are, I'm going to have to sit with this one for a minute
It
and
builds.
try because it's definitely got that grassy. It's sweet. It's got some sweetness in there, but it's really tempered. And it's just like that grassiness and that there's like a minty kind of tea type of note, like a black tea kind of.
Sure.
Very interesting. Okay.
Let's do glass 2.
That's our first impressions on glass 1. Let's get into glass 2.
Okay. That was a strong sniff.
No, it's like I smelled it and I didn't get much of anything. And I feel like,
I don't get. It smells like a nail polish remover.
yeah,
Ugh. I can't say I love the smell. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, glass 2 is not giving me much on the nose. I wish it were giving me a little bit more. Let's get into the taste. There it is. There it is.
I don't know how I feel about this one.
There it is. This is par for the course. Glass 2 is, to me, considerably sweeter than glass 1.
Oh yeah, it is sweeter.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I love that.
It's got a more of a caramel note, like a kind of a strong caramel note to it. It still has, I'm still getting a little bit of mintiness, and I kind of wonder if that's not residual lingering flavor left over from glass 1, even though we took a second, but I'm going to have to, that'll be interesting to compare when we go back to back.
I'm not getting any like major flavor notes,
Yeah.
like any which way.
I'm kind of getting like a spearminty note on the nose now. Like if you think about spearmint gum and then you smell it.
Okay. Yeah.
Spearmint and caramel.
Ew, that's a gross combination. Sick.
Yeah, it's like more sweet and also more spicy.
Yeah, I was just about to say it's kind of spicy.
Yeah.
This one, like the heat built up, but it wasn't spicy. Like this one almost has like a black pepper taste.
Yeah. I was trying to place what that spice was, and like about the only spice I can identify with any kind of regularity is cinnamon and black pepper.
Yeah, this hits me like black pepper hits me.
It definitely hits more like black pepper right on the mid palate. You get that sweetness of the caramel right up front. It's good. It's going to be really interesting to take some time to compare these two back to back. They taste quite a bit different.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to what they are. We'll find that out after we spend some time going back and forth with these, clearing out our palate between. So we're going to do that right now. We'll be right back with that after this. So we grade taste on nose, flavor profile, and experience on the palate. Erin, what are your tasting scores for Glass 1?
Glass 1 got a 2.5. Gave it just okay on the nose, thumbs up on flavor, thumbs up on experience.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I gave Glass 1 a 2.5 as well.
Interesting.
I gave it thumbs up on the nose, just okay on the flavor profile, and then thumbs up on the experience. Where are you at on Glass 2?
Glass 2 got a 1.5.
Ouch.
For me.
Okay.
I gave it a thumbs down on the nose. I did not like the nose. I didn't smell anything good. I gave it just okay on flavor and thumbs up on experience because overall the experience was good. It was enjoyable.
Yeah. I gave Glass 2 a 3. It got thumbs up on the nose, thumbs up on the flavor, thumbs up on the experience.
So after spending some time with these, do you have any notes?
Yeah, so Glass 1, I said on the nose, it was sugary sweet with undertones of just green grassiness, just the greenest grassiness that you can imagine, and vanilla. I get a lot of vanilla on the nose on Glass 1. On the palate, it hits me right off the bat with like an unsweet tea that's like kind of that bitterness, but not in a bad way, you know? You know how like you drink an unsweet tea and it's like loose leaf tea and it's very like it's got that bitterness, but it's not bad. So I got that, and then grass. If I were blindfolded and someone held out a bowl in front of me full of grass drenched in unsweet tea, it would taste like this taste. It would smell like this taste. I mean,
okay, I can taste that.
Yeah, like close your eyes.
I'm there for it though. I'm there for it. I kind of like it.
And then on the finish, I get a minty kick with kind of a tannic oaky finish. Like there's like a mint, like you know how like
mint,
not a peppermint, not a spearmint. There's just like mint has that tingliness to it. I get that like tingliness to it. Yeah, like a tingliness.
Like I've just brushed my teeth.
Yeah. Like it's not any specific mint. It's just a generic mint. And it's there on Glass 1. Glass 2, I said that it had a faint spearmint on the nose anchored in that caramel sweetness, which is what you said was gross and disgusting.
That sounds like a horrible combination.
Yeah, but on the nose, it's good. I liked it. And then I said all that carries over to the palate with that swelling black pepper on the mid palate. And then
swelling black pepper. You're so fancy.
Swelling black pepper.
When did you get so fancy? You're too fancy for this channel.
It swelled up. Like that's the experience that you're having. We're an experiential tasting channel. We're not tasting notes channel. I'm giving tasting notes right now, but they're wrong because I'm going to be wrong, I guarantee you. And then it had a lingering sweet oak finish with like kind of that, how this had that minty blast. This had more of like a minty tingle. This had more of like a mouthwash blast.
Okay.
This had kind of like that lingering tingle after the fact. You prefer Glass 1 quite a bit more?
I think I do. Well, not quite a bit. I just think what really hurt Glass 2 for me was the nose.
Yeah.
I didn't get a lot on the nose, and even now, like, I'm still not getting a ton.
It wasn't close for me. Like, Glass 2 was definitely the pour I would go back to. I think Glass 1 scored what it scored for me based on its uniqueness. It definitely is unique. You don't get this in a lot, and it's hitting me in a way that not a lot of things hit me. Let's find out what these are.
Yes.
I can't wait to find out.
I can't wait.
All right, let's get our sample jars.
All right.
You're going to pull up the key.
I got my key.
We're going to check it against the numbers on the bottom of these.
Okay.
So Glass 1 is number 36, and Glass 2 is number 37.
36. Willett Family Estate 4-Year Rye. And Glass 2, was Pikesville Rye. And I generally like Pikesville.
Can you tell me what those say?
Willett Rye, Pikesville Rye. Glass 1, Glass 2.
Willett Rye hits me in a way that nothing else hits me. And I didn't know that this was Pikesville. Willett's in there, I think, against a couple of different things. But Pikesville hits me close to a bourbon. But this hits me like a rye.
This tastes like a bourbon.
Yeah. This hits me like a rye, the Willett does. And it's just a totally different experience. Willett's on their own wavelength. I keep saying that on this channel. It's a very unique and interesting thing. And I don't dislike it, but I got to be ready for it and ready to embrace that differenceness.
That's fair.
Differenceness?
That works.
It's a word. Anyways, to me, I love the uniqueness of it.
Yeah.
It's just not necessarily to my flavor preference, which is why it only got a just okay on flavor.
That's fair.
But very interesting. The reason that we put this in our blind pool is because these are really close in proof points. I think the Willett is 106.8, was it?
I think.
Small batch, 4-year rye.
Yep.
Pikesville's a 5-year rye. It's 110. So there's only a few proof points separating these two. Pikesville is very readily available for $50.
Yeah.
Willett, not readily available, but not terribly difficult to get your hands on if you're looking out for it and you're willing to regularly visit a store, at least in our area in Nashville, Tennessee. Willett is $70, so more than the Pikesville, and it's harder to get your hands on.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to be fair, it definitely is more unique. That's why I never try to figure out what we're tasting, but it hit me on that second sip. And when you guys saw me react, and I told you, like, it hit me in a weird way. And the only thing in our house with like 100+ bottles that hits me like that is Willett Rye.
Yeah. Well, and normally when you try to figure out what it is, you're always wrong. This is the first time.
Yeah, I'm usually wrong.
In many times.
And to be fair,
right.
Even though it hit me like Willett Rye and I thought it was Willett Rye, I'm wrong so many times. I tried not to lean into that, and I really did just try to focus on experiencing the glass for what it was and not holding any other preconceived notions against it.
Well, because that's the whole point of doing these blind, is that you don't have preconceived notions.
Right. And of all the bottles in this house, there's a lot that I can just tune out, but that's one of the very few that I can't personally.
Interesting.
And I was actually more interested in this matchup to see how you reacted to it. Let's get into our real world scores. The retail score is the availability and the price in our market. And then the consumer score is whether we'd buy it again or not. It just so happens that all this stuff adds up to 10 points, but think of it more like a bell curve and not your traditional 0 to 10. So if you're around that midpoint, you're doing pretty good. If you're on the high end, you're exceptional. Aaron, where are you at for real world scores on Glass 1?
So for Glass 1, real world score, it's 4 out of 10. 2.5 on the tasting scores. And then I gave it just okay on retail score, $70. You can find other things for $70 that might be better. But I did give it a thumbs up on consumer score because it is unique. I'd buy it again. So it totaled out to 4.
That's fair.
Middle of the pack.
Yeah. I gave Glass 1 a 3.5 out of 10 on real world score. It got a 2.5 on the tasting score for me, and then just okay on retail score, again because of the $70 and the somewhat limited availability, and then just okay for me on consumer score as to whether I buy it again or not, because the flavors aren't really in my wheelhouse, so I could kind of take it or leave it.
They're more in my wheelhouse, so I'd probably like to have like one bottle around. Yeah. Just for funsies.
Glass 2, where are you at for real world scores?
Glass 2 totaled out to be a 3.5 out of 10. Not too far off.
Yikes.
Which, honestly, I like Pikesville. It just wasn't hitting me tonight, right? But the retail, the price is right. I did give it a thumbs up on that, and I would want to have it, so I gave it a thumbs up. So the consumer and retail scores, it got 2 thumbs up, so it totaled out to 3.5.
Yeah. I gave Pikesville a 6 on real world score. It got a 3 on the tasting score, thumbs up across the board. And then I gave it 2 thumbs up on retail score to get 110 proof rye, as good as Pikesville, I think is, and the availability being what it is, just flush in our market. I love that. And then I gave it a thumbs up on consumer score. Absolutely would keep a bottle of this around. Absolutely would buy it again. Very happy with it.
It's so interesting how some nights things hit you differently.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to ask, do you think that me talking about caramel and spearmint kind of threw you off?
A little bit.
Yeah. And that just goes to show you guys, like, what someone else says, things in the day that you eat, or even your mood can affect the way that you interpret something as subjective as taste. That's why we call this our objectively excellent subjective scoring rubric, as kind of a tongue-in-cheek shot at any of this being concrete, because taste is just not concrete. So who are these two pours for? Who do you think the Willett is for, and who do you, well, you know what? You picked the Willett, so why don't you speak to who the Willett's for, and I'll speak to who the Pikesville's for.
Dude, don't put me on the spot like that.
Well, I'll speak to who the Pikesville's for. I think if you're someone who likes bourbon and you want to experiment with ryes, and you're someone that tends to like higher proof bourbons, then I don't think there's a single better starting point than Pikesville Rye.
I agree.
You get the proof, you get the spice. It's just over the 50% mark in rye to make it a rye, so you still get some of that sweetness, and you're not leaning into the earthy grassiness that you can get in some of the 95% ryes, like a Willett, for example.
Yeah, I agree for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know. For me, I feel like this is just, even though it's a unique flavor profile, it's still an easy sipper, and I tend to lean into those easy sippers. Like, I want something that I can sip for a long period of time. And I feel like this is it. And it's kind of got a unique flavor. However, if you're not into earthiness in your drinks, then this may not be for you.
Yeah. If you want a taste preview of Willett Rye, you just go out to your front yard, grab a handful of grass and stuff it in your mouth, start chewing a little bit.
No, pour some sweet tea on it.
If you like it, great, go buy a Willett Rye.
I do love wheatgrass shots. So there's that. They're good.
That's it for this blind head-to-head. If you like blind head-to-heads like this and you want to do them yourself and you want us to be a part of that, then you can check the link below for the Patreon. We have blind tasting kits in there and a couple of the tiers. It's a lot of fun. We talk back and forth. We find out what you like. We are not experts, so that's kind of the fun of it. We can talk you through from more of like a regular person perspective. That's the whole deal with this channel. We just want it to be conversational, just like we're hanging out right across the bar top here in our kitchen with you. So those are on Patreon, as well as a bunch of different stuff. You can check it out there.
Thank you for watching today's video. If you like blind head-to-heads like this, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, I think it's over there, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we post a video. We post blind head-to-heads every Thursday, video podcasts on Saturday, and also we do a monthly live stream. And check the description box below for our next live stream date.
Till next week, guys.
Cheers. Who's that lady? Who's that lady?
Sexy lady.
It's Jess.
Is that how it goes?
No.
How's it go? No,
I don't know.
not the new girl thing.
I know. I don't know how that song actually goes. That's why I said. That's why.
I think it's a sexy lady.
It is, and then I don't know how it goes after that though.
Nobody knows how it goes after that.